One thing I want to talk about today, I want to go ahead and cover, is my experience so far with the Twitter or X blue checkmark, the subscription that they have. I believe I have the standard one. Hold on. Correction, I have the premium edition. So I believe this one is around $11.99 at this time. And I got this subscription, I believe, roughly 2 months ago. So I would say in March, I got this subscription. And my experience with this is totally subjective, and I do believe you will get a different feeling and result based on how active you are and the sort of people that you're surrounded by. My experience with a check mark, I'll say the pros first. Pros, I do believe that when I am inactive on Twitter or X, you feel that quote unquote shadow ban. Your reach doesn't extend as far. Now, when it comes to reach, I believe that the blue check mark does help with reach in terms of forgiveness. For example, let's say, I'll tell you now. When I was traveling or when I decided to take the weekend off from art, I'm not interacting as much on my homepage. I experience a decrease in reach, which is fine because I totally believe that if you are going to be viewed, you have to give back to the community and interact. But when I am not as active, my reach does decrease. However, I do believe that having the check mark makes coming back more forgiving. I think that it does prioritize you in terms of reach as soon as you return. Another thing about reach is that I do think that you are able to interact with more people than you would have before. Of course, the algorithm prioritizes what you interact with. For example, let's say I get an artist pushed to my feed that I've never really seen before. One of the things I've noticed with artists that gets pushed a lot is, "Hi, it's my birthday." And so I'll say, "Happy birthday." Lo and behold, a couple of artists that I do know and some that I don't, I will see, "It's my birthday today." There are a lot of people out there. So, for example, that's just how the algorithm behaves without it. But seeing more people that I have never seen before happens more frequently. And this can be good in terms of opportunity for growth. However, in my experience with my art mutuals, ones that I interact with often, I sometimes now have to manually seek out these art mutuals because in a way, X is prioritizing, I think, ongoing growth. I have no hard evidence to confirm this, I guess, like subjective claim, what I believe is happening. But just keep that in mind that your pool will get larger, so don't forget to go look for your favorite fish sometimes. Another thing I do like about the blue check mark is that I have access to the analytics, and I do like that I can access this on the app. I think before the analytics were not supported on mobile devices, but it is now, and I have really enjoyed having those analytics on demand on my phone, because even if you're not very specific or particular with the numbers, it gives you like green arrow up or red arrow down and can give you a bit of a feel of what's missing in terms of engagement. It'll tell you things like how many times your things were liked, shared, bookmarked, profile visits, things of the like, engagement rate. So it's really nice to just get an overview of what's going on. And for artists, you can definitely tell the difference. Let's say you host an art share. You're going to see those numbers. And so it kind of gives you the ability to create a pattern or rhythm with the kind of interactions you are making. It's not always about content, how pretty your art is or how good you are at it. It's like what the Wicked movie said. It's all about popular. Yeah, but you have access to Grok, the AI, but I really haven't toyed with the AI very much. Mostly because I think it is a tool for gathering information overall, but really, I don't know what to ask it in terms of information, so I've just not used it. I cannot tell you my experience with that. Another thing I want to know is with the premium, the blue check mark, you are eligible for monetization, meaning that if you have no pun intended, an X amount of verified followers following you, you are eligible to gain revenue that this pool of verified creators are making. It is kind of a crazy number of accounts. I can't remember off the top of my head. That would be useful. Maybe I'll put it in the description when I see it. I'm just recording on my iPad, so I don't have it in front of me, and my phone's on the charge. So yeah, I'll put it in the description when I find it out. I want to note one thing about the monetization, though. I'm pretty sure it's in their terms of agreement, but a lot of people don't click that. Please be mindful of your region if you are planning on trying to make money using this blue check mark, because there are certain regions where X does not support you being able to monetize or make money from the blue check mark. Some countries it's available, some countries it's not. Just want to throw that out there. I guess we're entering more of like the con territory now with that previous statement. Another con that there is with the check mark is on your profile, you can change a small description like your bio at any time. However, if you have your blue check mark, changing your profile name, I don't think you can change your handle, no. But changing, your profile name or your icon makes you re-queue for verification. They just want to make sure it's you. So before you sign up, I would definitely make sure that you have the things that you want, at least for a little while, because I have no idea how long the checkmark re-queuing takes. When I signed up for my checkmark at the time, I think it took about 3 business days for them to do it, but they say that getting the checkmark could take longer, so bear that in mind as well. Okay, I'm flipping back and forth now. A couple more pros that come with the check mark that I enjoy is the bookmark feature is way more sophisticated. If you want to bookmark anything, you just click the button now. You're free to do so. It goes under something called bookmarks. But with a check mark, if you bookmark something, you can add bookmark categories. I will note though, if you have already done regular bookmarks, and now you want to add categories after getting the check mark, you have to go back into the all bookmarks and re-bookmark them to the category, which can be crazy. I just started adding them as I went on. But for example, like for me, I have a couple of bookmarks. Like I bookmark my work, quote unquote. So anytime I post an art piece, I bookmark it under my work, so then if I want to repost a piece of art that I've done, it's quick to access, or just something lighthearted like nice interactions. I want to remember something wholesome that another user and I shared, or something wholesome I saw, or something I enjoyed, another interaction between someone else, or creative ideas. You can really do anything with the bookmarks. I enjoy that. And one more thing about the profile. I did note that, when you go to edit your profile, the icon and the name take, re-verification, but the brief description does not. one thing I really enjoy about that description is that you can extend it. It doesn't show primarily on your profile, but I think it does like a show more, and you get to have a more detailed description of yourself. And my favorite part of having the check mark, honestly, is just the length of my ability to reply to people. I know a lot of people are on X because they just want to be quick, fast, like a couple sentences, let's move on. However, I have invested in my art mutuals as much as they've invested in me. So when I want to say something or explain something, they need like art advice or want to hear about an experience or anything like that, I want to be able to be in depth without creating a crazy thread and just clogging up a whole conversation, and that's nice. And lastly, I think I can mention in terms of the check mark, when you post a reply, it can be annoying to wait for the timer to go out, but I think it gives you like a solid 5 seconds or so, I haven't really counted, before you post a reply. So you usually comment, you hit send, it goes immediately. But with a check mark, you get like a little circle, like a little timer before it sends, that you can press undo, and undo sends you back to that posting editing phase, and you can like fix a typo or just think about what you said and make sure you don't want to say it like better or in a different way, and that's really nice. So overall, I personally like the check mark. It's not just for as the cool kids say, like clout. It can be like, I think that people are more willing to follow me because I have it. Not only verified users, because they benefit too, but smaller accounts tend to follow me more. But the experience I have is that it's not a crazier amount. Like, you're not going to, like, in my experience, I didn't experience getting it and then gaining like 100, 200, 300, 400 followers, because I got a check mark. It's like, because my reach is farther, I think more people are able to resonate with what I'm already posting, or on art shares, people follow me because the check mark gives you more reach. And so people understand that. And so like they'll want to maybe interact with your art shares more and things like that. I don't think it's all like, ooh, I'm so cool. But I just love the fact that these small things that come with it, what justifies it for me is that it makes my user experience better, but it is an investment also for the people I interact with. Like, it makes their experience between us also more enjoyable. So that is my opinion and my experience with the blue check mark. If you have any more questions, comments, or concerns, please let me know. And as always, thank you guys for listening or watching. You guys are awesome. And to my pancake gang, you guys are the best. All right, let me see you guys. Bye.